Almost 2 months now since we said goodbye to our Paws with a Cause puppy, Ray. Since then, she's gone off to prison, continue her training to become a service dog.
13 on your side's Val Lego raised her and recently had a chance to visit her where she is now at the Saginaw Correctional Facility. You not only got to saw her, but you got to meet the prisoner who is now training her, Val.
I did, and let me tell you, this was quite the experience. I didn't get to have this exact same experience with CJ, and so having it with Ray was really special. I got to see the training that is involved in all of it, and you know, I always get a lot of concern from people about like, oh my gosh, she's going to prison and she's going to be living with prisoners. But this is a win-win for the puppies and for the prisoners as well. I got to see firsthand how it all works.
When we last saw Ray, there were plenty of tears. It was time for her to move on and continue training. Just a few short days later,
Good girl.
Ray was off to the Saginaw Correctional Institution for the Paws Prison Partners Training program.
So keep your rate of reinforcement high right now. Our goal is to really work on solidifying the foundational skills that they get from our foster puppy raisers. Okay, let's have 6 dogs here.
Alan Herloch-Pretzer has been leading the training program at Saginaw Correctional for almost 4 years.
So the value of the Prison Partners program is that the handlers have the ability to dedicate time to really help the dogs learn those skills. And so they really benefit from structure and repetition and patience.
And she's already seen Ray in action.
I love Ray. I love the fact that she loves to learn and she loves to work. She's a very honest dog. She's like, here I am, let's do it. But she gives it her all.
Ray is being trained by Samuel Powell. He's been a part of the Paws Prison Training program since it began at Saginaw Correctional. He's trained nearly 10 dogs.
Ray is like one of the dogs that actually helped evolve me into a better handler.
Leave it. Leave it. Ray, good girl. Ray.
Which is a really nice way of saying
Let's go.
she's got a lot of energy.
Leave it.
She was too excited. We try to get her to settle and lay down on her side. She wants to roll over on her back, get her belly rubbed like it's playtime. No, it's train time.
Despite her love of belly rubs, Samuel says Ray is one of his favorites.
The beauty about Ray is that she loves to train. Whenever you get an animal that loves to train, it actually helps boost your confidence and your level of training because they love to train. She's peaceful. She's very quiet, and she's not a troublemaker.
Ray lives in a prison cell with Samuel and another handler.
We got mattresses. They got like a half mattress that they sleep on. And we keep it in the room with us in our cell.
Samuel says Ray is an excellent alarm clock.
But now what she do is, when it's potty time between 5 and 5:30, she just gets on my bed and she takes one of her paws and just hit me on the back of my shoulder to let me know time to get up. So it's like a wake-up call.
After a potty break and breakfast, Ray has toys to play with in the cell, or she can watch what's happening in the hallways.
They trained enough where they could just lay in the doorway and watch everything that's going by.
Ray even gets playtime.
Free.
Sometimes with 4 of her friends, and sometimes she just likes to play with her sister Reggae. All of them are going through the same training program as Ray. The Saginaw Correctional Institution is a multi-level security prison.
Any type of crime, really, from bad checks, uttering, publishing, up to murder, and anything in between.
Jody Anderson is a resident unit manager who says there's a very rigid screening process for the Paws Prison Partners Training program.
Good behavior, misconduct-free, ticket-free. Depending on certain crimes, they wouldn't be eligible to be in the dog program. So they're screened pretty well.
Samuel is serving time for murder.
And what were you incarcerated for?
First-degree murder and assault with attempted murder.
It happened in 1999 on Franklin Street in Grand Rapids. Samuel, who had a reputation as a gang member, shot John Wayne Wilson and killed him.
I was 22 years old, and I had an altercation, and I grabbed my gun, and it changed the narrative of my life. And it changed the narrative of the life of my victims, and my family, and their family. So I wish that who I am today, I needed him back then, 20 years ago. And that's the heartbreaker for me and for everybody, is that you never know where you end up in life. You'll never know what you will experience in life. But whatever you go through and whatever you experience, that's gonna be the telltale of who you become in life moving forward.
Good girl.
To say the Paws Prison Program has changed Samuel's life is an understatement.
It changed my heart. I'm more compassion oriented. I care more about how I treat others and how I treat animals.
Good girl, Ray.
And I believe it has.
Stand.
Not only through my candid conversation with Samuel,
Let's go.
but when I saw how
Stop.
happy and well cared for Ray was.
Stay. Free.
Oh, Ray. Oh, my goodness.
My time with Ray was precious, but short. And soon, it was time to say goodbye again. But I knew she was in good hands.
My life is not over. Regardless where I'm at on this earth, I still can do some good from whatever environment or place or condition I find myself in. As long as I'm still alive and breathing, I can make some good and make change in my life and those in society and also those in prison also.
And so it seems that Ray is already helping to change someone's life.
God.
I know.
She says 2 more months left. Okay, so we don't know her exact release date from prison, but it's sometime in mid-January, and then she heads back to Paws, goes for further training. It's going to be a little while yet, but before we know whether she decides to be a service dog or an assistance dog or what she's going to do with her life, but she'll figure it out in phase 2 of her training. And as we know, it takes almost 3 years for a puppy to become a service dog. So continuing to follow her story, but man.
The one thing I noticed is that tail is still wagging. When she was the littlest pup, and even now their tail is just boop, boop, boop.
Never stops.
You were right. We didn't see this aspect of CJ's story when you had her. So to be able to get into the prison and see this, and you articulated this so well, it's amazing to see the amount of good that these dogs and this program is doing, and not just with the people they're eventually assigned to.
Right. It's kind of a twofold process.
And just like CJ, Ray knew you right away. She just came running right to you.
She sure did. Oh.
All right.
So nice.
Val, thank you very much.